time for another episode of the 12-Man Fan Jam Show. A show made by 12s from around the world, for 12s from around the world. I'm Mosette, and here's your host, and my dad, the self-appointed Reverend Moses of the St. Paul Allen Church of Seahawk Positivity.
Yes, welcome ghouls and ghosties to a very spooky episode of your 12-Man Fan Jam, episode 911. The Hawkoween and Jaguar, as Matt would say, the Jaguar version of your 12-Man Fan Jam show. The Seahawks get ready to take on the Jacksonville Jaguars on Hawkoween. So please put your tray tables up, put your seats back in the full upright position, grab a desired scent or beverage of your choice, and what can I tell you? This whole season's been an American Horror Story so far. Yeah. So let's just see where this goes. Isn't it fitting that this is episode 911 because we are in emergency state in the world of 12s? But we will try to get through this show and talk about the Jaguars and the Seahawks. Before we do, we'd like to meet our posse. Of course, there's Matt from England. Hi, Matt.
Good morning, Moses. How are you?
I'm great. How are you, sir?
I'm very well, thank you. I've come dressed today as myself. I thought of the scariest thing I could think of. So I thought I would come as myself, as what I dress up when I go into 10 games, because I go as Pudding Hawk. And I've even got my Let Russ Cook apron on that my dear friend Dustin sent to me from the States. I was hopeful, but by putting all my sacred items back up in my sea cave, that I would break the curse that is Seahawks football at the moment. Apparently not. Apparently it's going to take a little bit more than that to fix.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. I should have mentioned we are dressing up for Halloween or Hawkoween. I am dressed up as another favorite team of mine, the Cincinnati Reds, another team that won't make the playoffs this year, but we won't get in that right now.
They would have had to have done it already. So
yeah, right. So and that person, of course, is Dustin. Hi, Dustin. How are you?
Much better now. Thanks, guys. It's been not gonna lie, shit-tastic month for me. You only know part of it. I know you guys did a thing for my grandma, and I appreciate that. And matter of fact, I was telling the guys before the show, but I'll point this out real quick. I don't know if you want to zoom in, but this little guy over here, scary little doll that's right there, that's been in my grandma's house for like 20 years. My sister is super scared of it because her cousins used to always say, well, that's you, and they give her crap about it. And so the plan is, she thought I threw it away. She's engaged, gets married next year. I'm gonna wrap that up and give it to her from grandma next year. So
that's awesome. Perfect.
Yep.
I call shenanigans.
She will love it.
Yep. And then on this side over here, that book there from one of our rivals on the show from the other
challenge.
Yep. That's Mark Ty Turner's book that he had wrote, and that's actually one that he autographed for my grandma. So
sweet. That's
why that's up there. So yeah.
Awesome to have grandma's memorabilia around. Yeah, we appreciate that. Yeah, very cool. And also there is our Shadow Hawk, Will. Hi, Will.
Hi, Moses. How are you?
Wonderful. How are you?
Doing okay. I've come dressed as a DK Metcalf.
Looking for a foursome.
I know the resemblance is uncanny.
It is.
It really is me.
You're a little bit more level-headed than he is. But other than that, it's uncanny. It's absolutely uncanny. The resemblance, Will.
Yeah, if I took my shirt off, it would be even more uncanny.
Let's save that. Something. Let's save that for later.
It's not that kind of show, Will. It's not that kind of
show.
Before
we do that, we do want to mention this. This is our 212th edition of the show, believe it or not. Crazy. And we'll keep doing it until we try to get it right. Episode 911's format, of course, first quarter, we will have news from Will. Second quarter, we will talk about the loss against the Saints. At halftime, it is the best Seahawk-themed trivia game on the internet. 12-Man Fan Jam Show halftime trivia.
Of the world.
Last week's winner?
Will.
What? Will, yeah. Will, you won.
Oh, congratulations, Will.
Yeah. That had to happen, right?
So full crew tonight. We'll see how it goes. And of course, the second half, we do our game info on the game for the Jaguars, or as Matt likes to say, we're going to try to say this right tonight, the Jaguars. Matt, will you say it for us once, please?
Jaguars.
The Jaguars. And the predictions for the Jaguars game. But before we do the Jaguars game, we'd like to remind you to join us on Facebook for a great game day thread and a little something special here in a minute I'll tell you about. Also, subscribe to the YouTube channel, Seahawk Positivity. Email us, 12manfanjamshow@gmail.com, or follow us on Twitter, Seahawk Positivity. Special announcement this week, as of in about 8 hours, I'll be boarding a plane and heading to lovely Seattle for the Jaguar game. So I will have a lot of live videos on our Facebook page, 12-Man Fan Jam Show. Statsman Mark and I will be out in the town. I know we'll see Dustin. I know we'll see Will. And Matt will be with us in spirit, of course. So we may not be on a game day thread for this Sunday, but I'm sure it'll be well stocked with koalas for Matt, but we'll talk about that later. So let's get to the first quarter and news. Yes, it is the 12-Man Fan Jam Show news report, brought to you this week by our sponsor, the Ghost of Playoff Seasons Past. Will, what you got for us?
Well, Moses, if you were watching the Thursday night game last night, like me, you're probably wondering exactly what the hell happened on the game-clinching interception. Because Green Bay Packer cornerback Rasul Douglas, who actually started the year on the Cardinals practice squad, so oops, got the interception when Cardinal receiver AJ Green didn't even appear to look for the ball. Now we have some additional information as to what happened, according to Jim Trotter of NFL.com. The Cardinals had actually called a pass play to the other side of the field from Green. However, when Murray lined up, he noticed that Green had a more favorable matchup. So he signaled for the change, which was going to be a back shoulder fade to AJ Green. The problem is Green apparently didn't see the signal from Murray. And so ran out and was attempting to block the defensive back, who then intercepted the pass that came right over his shoulder. So it's a good reminder that the Seahawks defense is not the only unit dealing with the occasional communication snafu.
No kidding. It was a crazy way to end that game too. Because I mean, I totally agree with the call. I totally agree with going for it. I totally agree for, all of that, except you want your receiver to turn and face the ball.
Ideally, yes.
Yeah.
Well, and it came after, the Packers had what looked like a touchdown, and it's hard to tell what they could have seen to overturn it. But overturned on.
Overturned it, they did for sure.
Yes, they did. I know Aaron Rodgers is quarterback of the Packers, and I know that Matt has an idea about Aaron Rodgers. Do you, Matt? You want to share?
I don't have any idea
theories,
no theories about him whatsoever. I'm just saying that, sometimes it looked like he enjoyed spanking that little Kyler Murray a little bit too much. It just seemed like he enjoyed it a little bit too much, to my mind.
Yeah, he came out with a great meme afterwards. So I mean, their setup, anyways, with that picture, that was amazing.
Yeah,
they've done a good job with those jokes. I tell you what, I was so surprised by that play at the end of the game. I forgot that it wasn't going to overtime because it was in my head. Okay, this is going to overtime, and then he made the interception. I'm like, okay.
Already made the drink decision. New drink has been ready. He's ready to go overtime. All of that.
Overtime. I'm ready.
All the show prep has been done. He's all ready to go, and it never happened.
I was thinking, okay, let's go to overtime now. And then I saw the score again. I was like, oh wait, no, we're not. We're not going to overtime. Okay.
Cardinals look good though, but we won't talk about them yet. Will, what you got for us besides that?
Well, Moses, as you of all people probably know very well, Indianapolis has hosted the NFL Scouting Combine since 1987.
Indeed.
Beginning with 2023, they may not. There are 3 teams in consideration to hold the 2023 Scouting Combine. Indianapolis is one of them. The other 2 are Los Angeles and Dallas. And Dallas right now appears to be the front runner, largely because when Jerry Jones built his team's training facility, he had the Scouting Combine in mind. At the training facility called The Star, there's a sports medicine facility, there's a hotel, 2 outdoor practice fields, and 2 indoor practice fields, including one field that seats over 12,000 people. So
wow.
It would be an adequate facility, certainly, but it's personally, it'd be kind of a shame to move it out of Indianapolis, but money talks.
Yeah,
It does.
Football's not as traditional as baseball, but LA would not make any sense to me whatsoever. Like it's on one coast. Everybody's got to fly over there. Why? I like the more central location. Dallas makes more sense. Indy makes more sense. It's more in the middle of the country than Los Angeles is, so it makes it easier to get there.
It's a big shame that in America you haven't got a long enough history, or sometimes to remember that some things just matter where they are. It's just where they are. Sometimes they're completely impractical. Over here in Britain, we have things happen in all sorts of places. They're entirely impractical, but they've happened there for 2,000 years, so therefore they continue to happen there for 2,000 years.
Yeah.
And at some point, the game of football has to move beyond just dollars and cents and says, actually, it's just going to be here. And I understand moving the Super Bowl around, and I understand that kind of thing. But when it comes to things like,
traditions,
traditions, people going to Indy, it's like suddenly picking up Canton and just moving that. Saying, no, we're going to move that now. Screw that. It's not going to be there anymore. We're going to move it over there because, Jerry Jones has got a new room called the Glory Hole and he wants to put all the pictures and shit in there. It's nice. At some point, America just has to understand that some things just should be where they are. Leave them alone. Let them be, and then do other things with other.
Not everything needs a glory hole. Yeah.
Well,
Well, I make it unanimous, but of course I live here, so I don't know what big deal is there. I've gone up a couple times. I've never met anybody famous. Well, I have, I met Matt Strong, but he was actually signing things. He was in a formal place, but I know people who have met some of the coaches leaving and going and stuff like that, and I've kind of wandered around hoping that to happen to me. But I've never had the luck, but I know some people have. So it is kind of cool to go up and try to walk around Indy. It's really cold, of course, so it's kind of hard to do it in February, but try to walk around and see if you can meet somebody. I remember one year I went up, I was going to meet somebody at Hooters up there. And I went in Hooters, and this guy and I were sitting there, and the waitress came by and we said, have any of the coaches, have you seen anybody famous? And she said, Sean Payton comes in for lunch every day. Nice. And that was Hooters. So, I just leave that as it was. But
they do have good wings.
Well, they do. They do.
I have a sad story about that, actually.
Goes to the Hooters all the time. When
you have a sad Hooters story?
Now, why did they think that Dustin would have a story about Hooters?
Who knew?
Hold on to your hats, everyone.
No, this is a sad story. I didn't know this, but when I came back from Prosser, dealing with all that stuff, we're driving by, and the Hooters in Tacoma has been closed, and it's something that's completely different now. There's no more Hooters in Tacoma.
Dustin is devastated.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
Thoughts and prayers go to Dustin.
Did they change it? Did they change it? They changed it to Pooters, did they, instead of Hooters?
I hope not.
I hope not.
I don't know what it was.
Hey, Dustin.
Yeah.
I saw a picture online. It was a Hooters sign, but the S had burned out. So it just goes to show you how bad inflation's hitting us all. They're down to one boob.
Just one boob. All you need. And that's one boob too many.
I thought that was an owl. I thought it was all about owls.
Yeah.
Moses, let's talk.
All right. Yeah. We'll talk after this. Let's talk here at the end of the first quarter. Thanks, Will, for the great news report.
Anytime, Moses.
And that's the end of the first quarter.
That's the end of the first quarter, bitches.
All right. Coming up, we have so much more Hawkoween fun on this special Hawkoween edition. Jaguar edition of your 12-Man Fan Jam Show. Predictions, halftime trivia, and of course, a very special Reverend Moses séance coming up at the end of the third quarter. You're not going to want to miss that. We'll be right back with the second quarter right after this.
I'm Mosette, and this is the 12-Man Fan Jam Show. Dad, I want you to meet my new boyfriend, Sam.
Is he one of us?
A Seahawk fan? Yeah, Dad, of course.
Yes, sir. I'm a great Seahawks fan. Cam Newton's my favorite player.
Okay, get out. That's it.
Dad,
get out.
no.
Get out. No.
Everything's about football, Dad.
No, man. No.
Holy shit, it's the second quarter.
Yes, welcome back to quarter two of your 12-Man Fan Jam Show, episode 911, the Jaguar edition. Still in costume for most of us. I have switched into the Indiana State Sycamores, where I graduated from. Quick story. Bob Tunyon, tight end for the Green Bay Packers that blew his knee out last night, I guess I heard.
For his ACL.
Yeah. He's from Indiana State. So every time he caught a ball, my son would make me sing the Indiana State theme song, fight song, which I know.
Must be short.
Well, I know because I made a bet with a guy down there. If they ever had a Wayne basketball season, which was their first one in 20 years when I was there, if they get a Wayne season, I'll memorize the fight song. So I had to memorize fight song. So, but I won't do it now. But proud Indiana State Sycamore. All right, we'll move on. What we're not proud of is talking in this quarter about last week's game as the Seahawks lose 13-10 to the Saints. Will, your thoughts on this game? Anything positive out of this we can get?
Not really. No. When Geno Smith came in the fourth quarter of the Rams game and led us on that long touchdown drive, he just looked like he didn't have a care in the world. He was just throwing the football around, making the tight throws, making good plays. And now he's just playing so much more tentative. I don't know how much of it showed up on the TV broadcast because I couldn't bear to watch it after I got home. But it seemed like every time he went back to pass, he would double clutch the ball.
Yeah, it did.
Like okay, open guy. No, wait, I can't. Oh, I can't. And I honestly think that Pete Carroll got in his head about, no interceptions, no fumbles, don't turn the ball over.
Yeah, we've seen this before.
And now Geno has gone too far in the other direction, and he's being so careful not to turn the ball over that he's missing plays. There was one play in the third quarter. He had Metcalf one-on-one with Marshawn Lattimore coming into the corner of the end zone. That's a throw that Russell Wilson's going to make 10 times out of 10, basically. Just throw it up there and let your ridiculously tall and strong and fast wide receiver go up for it. And I think more often than not, Metcalf comes down with that, and that's a touchdown.
Yeah.
And Geno looked his way, and then he double clutched, and then either had to throw it away or got sacked, and the drive stalled. And it's just, we can't win games like that. I mean, it would not have taken much more to, get some more points, maybe get another touchdown and win that game. But, Geno playing as tentative as he was a big part of it. The defense, to their credit, actually showed up except for that one long drive. But they were making plays. They were getting off the field, although they were making stupid plays. Al Woods on that field goal attempt, jumping off sides, giving them a new first down, which not only let New Orleans drive for a closer field goal and take more time off the clock, but I believe Marquise Blair broke his kneecap shortly after that.
Yeah.
He might be healthy today had that not happened. But it's like every game this season, you got dumb penalties, you have bad time management. How many timeouts did we have to burn just to avoid delay a game penalties?
I think it was 7, I think.
Yeah. I was going to guess 42, but you're probably closer.
Closest without going over.
But yeah, it was a very frustrating game, and not really one that we could afford to lose.
No, a true team loss. And really, if you take away the fact that a defensive back fell down, we'd probably have 3 points. I mean, that touchdown looked great, 84-yard touchdown pass, but the guy also fell down. So, what comes out of that? Maybe not a touchdown, and then we're looking at 3 points. But Dustin, defense tried to look a little different. I mean, aside from
I thought the defense was a positive. I thought the defense, for the most part, was a positive spot. Sure, there were mistakes, but you held the NFL team to 13 points. To me, it was more of an offensive issue, and not so much. I mean, obviously, some was Geno, but a lot of it was the play calling too. Like, you can't run freaking 8 fucking runs in a row and expect them
ridiculous.
Yeah, they're over there like, okay,
9-10 in the box.
Yeah, exactly. And first of all, very strong run defense. I think they're top 5. I think.
Yeah.
I want to say the 5th, actually. Yeah, number 5. That sounds right. But yeah,
second against the run.
Second, you said?
Second, yep.
Yeah. So I mean, when you go against a team like that, I understand you want to establish the run, but when you go against a team like that, and you have freaking 9 guys in the box, you have 6 guys blocking. I'm not good at math, but I know we don't have enough guys to block all their guys. Maybe give your quarterback the option to check out of that and make a different play.
I think you're I think you're just angry because they made you do math. I think that's
part of it. That's part of it. I was like, look how many guys are over there. Like that's
look,
all
do the
guys.
math.
That's
I
all
have
the
to do
guys.
the math. Yeah, it's all the guys.
Yeah, it's like that. I'm pretty sure they had like cornerbacks in there, and they're like,
there were 9 or 10 in the box.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like, come on, it's ridiculous. You have to adjust to that. You are a professional team. You're on the top tier of football. You have to be able to recognize those things, correct the mistakes, not even correct the mistakes, but recognize what's happening, make the corrections, and play. You didn't give your team an opportunity to play in a lot of situations. I mean, you want to have, as a coach, you want to put your players in a position to succeed, put them in the best spot to succeed. And I don't feel like that happened at all.
No.
So that was very, very frustrating. Yeah. Especially like I haven't watched a Seahawks game since September. So I haven't been able to, I've been busy, as you know, and I haven't been able to really watch. Sure. So coming back and watching that shit, it's like, what is going on?
Yeah, I imagine
happening here. I did see, I'll talk to the injury report a little bit about Russell, but I did see some of that. I was going to catch up on a couple of things there, but man, it was ridiculous.
It was like going to a knife fight with a gun and a knife, and you see that I have knives. You go, okay, you put the gun down and you go after him with a knife.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you have the gun. Why are you? Yeah, exactly.
It reminded me actually a lot. Now, this is a take that I know people hate that are combat sports fans, but it reminded me of boxing versus MMA. I can't watch boxing because I think it sucks because it's very limiting. Like you go over there, you punch with your hands, great. You have different things you do with your hands, jab, cross, hook, uppercut, whatever. However, you're ignoring all the other weapons you have, your elbows, your knees. There's no ground and pound, no takedown. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, so to me, boxing versus MMA is like that. It's like playing basketball, but only doing layups.
Yeah.
You have all these other options to score.
Yeah.
You're focusing on the one thing. That's all you're doing. That is super frustrating. And it's easily adjustable. They're just not doing it.
Yeah.
So
it's frustrating.
Yeah.
It was a very frustrating game to watch. I know Matt was fortunate enough to sleep through it, Matt, but
lucky man.
Oh, you woke up time, didn't you?
I did towards the end, right at the very, very end, in fact. I had to get up to go to the loo. It's frustrating for me. It's the third game I haven't been able to really watch live because I've always been night games. But this Sunday, at least, it will change. I think when you see the highlights and the only highlight is one play, it kind of tells you everything you need to know about a game.
Yes,
this is another game where we had 2 quarters where we did nothing, absolutely nothing, scored nothing. So again, it's exactly the same as we've talked about previously. We've only played, technically, really, we only played half an entire game of football. Those 2 quarters were completely pointless to us. One play does not a game make. The fact that Gino, and again, I find it difficult to be annoyed with Gino, and I accept everything you say, Will, the double clutching, the holding onto the ball too long, all that kind of stuff. But I do have that innate sense that he's just stepping up and having to fill in. Well, obviously the other Wilson is having his finger sorted out. But I'm like, if you think about it, he out of all of his yards that he gained, over half of them was on a single play.
Yeah, right.
So 11. Yeah. So basically, he had 11 attempts for 80 yards for the whole game, and that's like, wow.
Yeah, but I don't know how much of that you can put on Gino though, because we've seen this before. Like Russell Wilson last season, right? Mm-hmm. First half, phenomenal. He made a couple of mistakes, and then all of a sudden, the governor was back on the car, and you couldn't drive it fast. You know what I mean? I wonder how much of this is in Gino's head that he can't make those mistakes, and so he's second guessing everything he's doing, as opposed to making him comfortable within the game and letting him do what he's good at. You know what I mean?
I agree, and I think what comes up for me in my head here is that Pete Carroll has told him over again, look, Gino, all I need you to do is take care of the ball. Just take care of the ball. So just don't turn it over. If you don't turn it over, we win this game because we'll establish a run and we'll make it happen, and it'll, I
think that's how Pete. Freaking gauges it too, because he said Gino's doing a good job managing the game.
Yeah, and that's
what we don't want to fucking manage it. We want to win it.
Yeah,
well,
right.
well, yeah, but I mean, you talk about establishing the run. I understand the need to establish the run. I understand that it opens up so many other options for your offense. I understand the play action comes off the establishment of the run. I understand all of that, but you cannot be trying to establish the run all the way to the fourth quarter towards the end of the game. But at some point, you just have to take the training wheels off and say, do you know what, guys? The run isn't happening today. Right, so screw it. I want as many receivers and tight ends available to receive anything
open
that we
it
can
up.
throw at any moment. And I don't care anymore. If you turn it over, Gina, buddy, you just get out there and you make whatever you make happen. Don't worry about turning it over. But we spend, to my mind, almost every single play of the game trying to establish the run up until the final whistle. And at some point, Pete Carroll just has to understand that the run is not going to be established today, mate. Move on to a pass, move on to a screen, move on to something
like you said,
different.
flood it with people with pass catchers, throw the ball a few times. That's going to make people back up. They're going to have to adjust to that.
And that helps you then with the run.
Yeah.
And that helps you with the run.
It does. You can pass the set up the run. Absolutely.
So I just think this whole team this year is, I don't know where the rot sits. Part of me though is I am frustrated with Pete. I can almost feel his it's always worked for me the last.
You can feel his fingers on the blueprints of some of
it's
this.
all over it, isn't it? I mean, it really is. It's just all over it. And I think at some point he's either got to step back and let Waldron do his stuff. And I mean, Ken Norton Jr., whatever. I mean, I'm over him and was done with him ages ago. But I do think that at the moment it feels like to me, Pete, we're not. I don't feel like the fans are in panic mode. The fans dropped off a cliff 3 weeks ago. Do you know what I mean? That's done. Tick. We're sorted. We're already done.
Yeah.
But I do feel as if Pete's a little bit in panic mode. I feel like he's got this. I think he's got this. But the trouble is, Dustin, he's in panic mode and he's clutching at things. So rather than letting stuff happen,
and trusting his people,
he's actually depressing the game rather than making it better. That's what I feel. I feel it's a Pete issue.
Any positives? I felt like defensively they were trying things.
We stopped Kamara. I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah.
I don't know about stopping Kamara.
Well, Kamara's going to get his, Dustin. He's going to get them, but he only got 51 of them. He didn't get 109 of them or 120 of them.
Well,
so
not
counting the catches.
Ball, but he had over 100 receiving yards and 10 receptions. So he didn't have a ton of rushing yards, but he was their weapon on offense.
Oh yeah,
totally. And we never at one point thought, let's switch some shit up. And that guy that keeps catching the ball and making their plays, let's take a look at stopping him.
I agree with you guys. I think the defense was definitely the positive of the game because there was nothing else there to be positive really about.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it's another situation.
Ring of Honor speech was awesome.
Yeah, Matt Hasselbeck.
I bet I didn't get to see that, but yeah,
I didn't get to watch the opening part. It wasn't shown. But I think from what I would see, again, it's another one of those half issues of inconsistency. There's no point the defense being okay, average. Let's not pull them. They weren't great, but there's no point the defense being average if the offense can't even, move the ball or do anything with it.
The offense can't even be average.
Yeah, because exactly. So,
Jamal Adams did make a smart play in coverage. That was good to see.
He did.
One.
I
mean,
that's
got to
be
2 tackles. I think for the whole game he had 2. I think that's where he was in total.
But he did make some impact. I thought Adams.
He had a couple good plays. He's not making the big forced turnovers or sacks or anything, which we need. I still say we need him to make because of what we're paying him.
Yes.
He's not having a bad year. He's just not having a great year. And I think
he's not having a Jamal Adams year. That's the trouble. He's not
Jamal
Adams.
Yeah, they were saying that he's like they're calling those plays, but then the formations aren't right, so he's got to pull out of them and go do other things or whatever. But you know what I would like to see, honestly, what I'd like to see, and I've heard other players do this in the past, is Doug Baldwin. He's a guy, who he reached out to ask questions about receiving and philosophies and whatnot. He talked to Steve Largent.
Yeah.
He went and he got a hold of Steve, and they talked, and he learned a lot from Steve. Cam Chancellor watching football right now is frustrated, and you can see in his tweets and stuff, he's like, why is that happening when this is obviously there? Why is that happening when this is obviously there? I would love to hear something about Jamal Adams reaching out to Cam.
Yeah.
Like, in this defense, what would you do? Because it's not, the coaching staff can chirp at you all day long, but that's like your parents talking to you sometimes, and you're just not going to hear it. I would love for Jamal Adams to have the mindset to be like, this isn't what I want it to be. I want to be better. Who can I talk to about that? Cam Chancellor. He's available. He's there. He'll do it.
That would be awesome.
You know what I mean? That would be he could be like Jake Keeps is for Russell Wilson in a way. He could be his safety coach.
Yeah.
Jake Keeps is Russell Wilson's quarterback coach.
That would be pretty awesome.
Kind of funny, but yeah.
That would be awesome. Maybe we'll get that. Who knows?
I hope so.
But in any event, we do need to go 2-minute warning, see how we did our posse prediction challenge. This should be fun.
Not always really. Is.
Not really. We went all in on the penny train, and that was a complete waste of time as well.
We did.
Shoot.
2-minute warning. Let's see how we did on our posse prediction challenge. And this is really exciting, guys. So hang on for the ride. First off, the score, I went with Andy 21-17. I don't know. I mean, they all kind of stunk. Nobody got a prognostication. But wait, it actually gets better.
It gets worse.
Of course, there's no game ball.
You know
the
what?
over-under was under. Will?
Wow.
Dennis, I think you should give Mike a point for on the game ball because he didn't actually pick anybody.
No,
that's probably the best.
That's not how it works.
Mark and Andy got the under. Here are your total scores for this week, and there's only 3 points. Andy got 2. Mark got 1. Watch the movement and the overall scores. Mark goes to second place. Andy gets closer to Matt, but everything else stays the same. But the good news is that Andy's on our team and Mark's on their team, which means
we gained a point.
We gained a point, and it's 51-41.
Go back to that last slide. I want to challenge something.
Oh no, the flag's out.
Dustin, it's
Little Mo was listed twice and got 7 points twice.
Okay, well, I'll fix that. Not now, but it doesn't really matter.
Does that take 7 points away from them,
though? We'll challenge that after the bye week. So we'll fix that. We'll see who we're missing.
After 2 minutes, all challenges have to come from the replay booth.
Yeah.
You can't throw a challenge.
It doesn't matter at this point. We're still 10 points down. So
yes,
we might. It might only be 3 points.
And with that, we'll go to halftime.
Holy shit! It's halftime.
All right. So much more show coming up. A special séance to remove evil from Seahawk land, so to speak. A halftime trivia, though, that is coming up, and we'll be right back after this.
You are watching the 12-Man Fan Jam Show, a Seahawk Positivity production.
Yes, welcome everyone to another fun-filled edition of 12-Man Fan Jam Show Halftime Trivia
of the World.
The game that challenges our listeners and our posse on their knowledge of all things Seahawk and otherwise. Our contestants tonight are, of course, Matt, Will, and Dustin. Here are the rules, gentlemen. Each of you have a question per round for 2 rounds. Each round question is worth a point. At the end of 2 rounds, there will be a special final question worth 2 points. And whoever's leader after that will be crowned 12-Man Fan Jam Show Halftime Trivia Champion of the World for episode 911. If there's a tie, there's a special secret overtime question as well. So, and you can also ask the children. Mosette and Little Mo, my children, my lovely, darling Seahawk children took this quiz as well. You could ask each of them once per the first 2 rounds, but only in the first 2 rounds. Will was our champion. Will, let me give you the topics. The topic for round 1 is Mike Holmgren. Mike Holmgren, and of course a non-Mike Holmgren special. Mike Holmgren getting in the Circle Hall of Fame as a coach. Speaking of coaches, that's what I'm wearing right now. This is my coaching attire from a few years ago when I coached the conference and county champion Lady Cubs of Custer Baker Middle School. Thank you very much. 7th and 8th grade.
Also, I would like to correct one of those things there. I don't know if Matt was going to say the same thing, but there's no such thing as a Circle Hall of Fame in Seattle. It's called the Ring of Honor. I'm just going to throw that out there.
All right, Ring of Honor. Matt, you had a question?
I was going to say, where's your whistle? Because if you're a coach, you're supposed to have a whistle.
I was gonna do that, but you know how it was. I just pucker my lips and blow.
Are you chewing any gum?
Not yet.
So you're not.
But I have a clipboard around here somewhere.
I mean, it's not a great outfit. I mean, it's missing
so many
different bits. Really,
it really is. But for our taste,
I'll let you off with it. But I mean, try harder next year.
It's just a shit on Dennis segment, okay?
Is that what this show's called? Oh no.
Yes, it's a show.
Hey, Will.
Of the world.
Will, you want question 1, 2, or 3?
I'll take question 1.
You'll take question 1. Dustin, you want 2 or 3?
2, I guess. Yeah.
All right.
3's not playing.
3 will be 3. Matt. Matt will take 3. All right. Here we go. Well, your question is about Mike Holmgren, and I think you may be able to guess this if you were paying attention earlier. We had an outtake. But my question is truly, what is Mike Holmgren's middle name? Is it George, William, or Thomas? Mike Holmgren's William name, Thomas name, George name, his middle name. George, William, or Thomas? Dance! And you can answer, Will.
I know.
He's trying to figure out which one sounds better.
I'm going to say his parents had good taste in middle names, so I'm going to go William.
It rolls off the tongue better.
Will's going with Will. Little Mo went with William. That's his middle name. And Mosette went with George.
I want to say it's George too for some reason.
I want to say
Thomas. Because that's right.
It
is George. It is George. So,
but
Dustin.
Yeah, Michael William Holmgren does sound much better than Michael George.
Yeah,
Holmgren. I'm just going to throw that out there.
I agree. Dustin, your question's about Scary Movie.
Scary Movie, like with Anna Faris and.
Yeah, no. The movie 28 Days Later. Have you seen 28 Days Later?
Shit, a long time ago.
Okay, so here's what I want to know. Who's responsible for releasing the deadly virus in the movie 28 Days Later? Was it animal rights activists, the Chinese government, or Islamic terrorists?
I blame Matt.
Or plot twist, all 3.
Oh!
Yeah.
Who was responsible for the deadly virus? Don't pick him. You cannot. Animal rights activists, Chinese government, or Islamic terrorists? Who put the virus out in the movie 28 Days Later?
Well, I'm going to hope the kids are watching scary movies recently and ask the kids.
All right.
Which I never do. Never do. This is a bold move for me.
Mosette, who was just hired as assistant manager at her job, by the way. Mosette
works at a movie theater.
And she works at a movie theater, said animal rights activist. Little Mo said Islamic terrorist. Nobody said the Chinese government.
You know what that means?
No one said China.
Seeing as how Mosette works in a movie theater, I'm guessing she likes movies. And I'm going to say the animal rights activist. I'm going to go with Mosette.
You're going against the norm. Go with animal rights activists, even though it's right.
Bam.
Dustin is
I'd have got that as well. I actually don't mind that film.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I saw it not too long ago. So.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, they have 28 days and 28 days later. They had 2 of them.
That'd be the sequel. And another one is Not Another 28 Days. Okay. Matt.
I think that was Friday.
Hello. Hey, Matt.
28 days later after next or whatever.
Matt, who drafted Mike Holmgren out of college? Was it nobody? The Green Bay Packers or the Cardinals? Who drafted Mike Holmgren out of college for the NFL? Nobody? The Green Bay Packers or the Cardinals?
I have no idea because I don't know enough about Holmgren, to be honest. So I'll go with the Green Bay Packers.
He was a quarterback. I know that. He was a quarterback.
Green Bay Packers.
I don't know. He was at the Green Bay, but I don't think it was that. But I'll say that anyway.
All right. Both kids also said the Green Bay Packers.
Uh-oh.
And you said the Green Bay Packers. He's kind of akin to the Packers, though. But, nah, it was the Cardinals. It's Cardinals. As a Cardinal, yeah. So
I think the St. Louis Cardinals was maybe a giveaway on that. Seeing as how
it probably was. Dustin is on the board. Will and Matt are not. So Dustin gets to pick. Dustin, 4, 5, or 6.
4. Liking this hair. I've never had long hair. It's kind of sweet.
Will, 5 or 6?
I feel like Seattle Slipknot.
Will's going to do 5, and Matt is going to do 6. All right, here we go. All right, Dustin, your question. The topic for this round, since we had Mike Holmgren, we're going to have Matt Hasselbeck this round, another member of the
I know that guy.
Circle Seahawk, whatever the freak you want to call it.
I love how nobody cares about the Jaguars, not even this show.
Jaguars, yeah, no, we don't.
Yes.
Hasselbeck, Holmgren, Jaguars. All right.
Check this out right here.
Dustin,
I've
your
been trying to
question.
figure out how to put this on there. This is actually an autographed football from Hasselbeck.
Oh, very nice.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ah.
I've got an autographed picture of Mike Holmgren hanging here in the fan cave, even as we speak.
I'm trying to figure out how to get it on this thing over here, but it doesn't fit. I got to buy a different one, maybe. You may proceed.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Dustin, your question is this. What position did Matt Hasselbeck's dad play in the NFL? Was it
Tight
quarterback,
end.
tight end, or receiver? Are you sure?
Are you sure?
Pretty sure he played tight end.
Okay. Mosette said quarterback. Little Mo said tight end. You said tight end. Yes, it is tight end.
He was on the field for the end of the infamous snowplow game.
Yes, he was. All right, well.
Remember, was he with the Saints? Because wasn't he with Archie Manning and Haas and Peyton used to hang out in the same locker room together?
He was with the Patriots for a while.
Lofa Tatupu and Matt.
Was that what it was?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Will, your question is a movie question. Do you like the movie? Do you like the movie The Shining?
That's okay.
I love the movie Shining. It's my favorite horror film. So, what hotel room did Dick Halloran tell Danny to stay out of in the movie Shining? Was it room 213, 233, or 237? What was the name of the room that Dick Halloran told Danny to stay out of?
I just have a bad feeling I'm going to biff this and I'm going to kick myself because I know it's obvious in retrospect, but I'm going to go 237.
You're going to kick yourself if you're wrong, huh?
Yep.
Mosette said 237.
This cat's going to scratch him.
Little Mo said 213. Yeah, it's 237. There's actually a documentary about the movie called Room 237.
Room 237. I was so annoyed. I've got terrible questions, and I get all the ones. I'm getting all yours. I get my own.
Yeah.
Matt's in rare air right now.
Matt, here comes yours.
Boston College.
What college? No.
That was Hasselbeck's college.
That's where Hasselbeck.
I know that because that was on telly the other day when they were doing it. Talking about it.
That is where Matt.
What college did Matt Hasselbeck attend before transferring to Boston College?
Oh, I don't know.
Shit. I didn't know that was.
That'd be funny. Matt Hasselbeck played quarterback for the Seahawks. What college did Dave Craig go to? Who also played okay.
Milton College, which no longer exists.
Yeah. Matt Hasselbeck
strong work.
Start some playoff games for the Seahawks. My question is, how many playoff games did Matt Hasselbeck play for the Seahawks? Start for the Seahawks. 10, 11, or 12.
I'm going to ask the kids because I haven't used them yet. But I'm betting they mentioned all of this in the ceremony. Did they go through all of these sort of stats?
Probably.
I don't even know who inducted him anyway. Who was doing all the speaking? Was it?
Oh yeah, good question. Will?
Steve Rabel.
Oh, it was Rabel. Was it? Oh, brilliant. Fantastic.
Oh yeah, he kind of is the master of ceremonies for that kind of thing. For all of them.
Ask the kids.
Okay. Little Mo and Mosette said 12.
Oh, there wasn't even a split. I hate my life. This whole game has been one disaster question following another. I'll go 10.
I think you're right.
Have I frozen?
No, it's 11.
No, it's 11.
It's 11.
It's 11.
That's more than I thought.
It's 11, guys.
This is a disaster, everyone.
But you know, it's 2-0. But you know what it's time for? It's time for the final question. Yeah. Okay. Final question.
Encore.
For 2 points, there's possibility for a secret overtime question coming up.
What about a double
Get excited about that.
The double secret overtime question?
Double overtime secret.
Matt will go first, Will go second, and Dustin will go third. So here is your final question. It is about scary movies, of course, horror films or horror films, whatever you want to call them.
Oh, I might know this.
And the question is this. Matt, you're going to love this question.
I'm not.
The highest grossing movie in scary film history is It. IT.
Which one?
The first one.
Probably the modern one.
Not
right?
the 1980. Yeah.
Yeah,
The one that was just out.
That
part
one.
one.
I like the Tim Curry one.
I do too. I love Tim Curry. I like the new guy too. All right. The question is this: as of October 22nd of this year, according to Wikipedia, how much money has it made worldwide? How much has it grossed worldwide as of October 22nd, 2021? And I'll tell you what, it is a lot more than second place.
Is that a franchise, or is this just that one movie, the first
just
one?
The one
in what
movie.
currency?
With like the kid from Stranger Things.
Dollars.
Oh, so okay, Mickey Mouse currency, right? So,
yes.
So add the 1, carry the 3.
Give you some thinking move.
I would say, but when I see the trouble, you got coronavirus in the middle of all that stuff. That whole thing has sort of slowed that down. I'm gonna say $286 million.
$286 million. All right, Matt. So $286 million. Will, how much money do you think it's grossed worldwide?
So just to clarify, Moses, you're asking for the movie gross of the world.
Nice job.
Indeed, I
Nice
am.
job. Nice job. Is that box office sales or rentals as well?
What about streaming rights?
That's. I feel like we need to know this.
Since we're talking worldwide, I'm guessing it's going to be a lot more than domestic gross. I'm going to go 500 million.
$500 million.
286
million.
500 million, Dustin. You got to do math. Ha!
I think I was feeling like it was. I was feeling like it was in the 700 million range, so I'm going to go $1 over what Will said.
Wow. 500
no
million
Wait.
and $1.
Oh.
All right.
That seems a lot of money for a film in the middle of a
Not really.
Year.
Not anymore.
The actual
it's a lot for a horror film now.
As of October 22nd, 2021. 700 million, 381, 759.
See, Dustin, you could have won.
DuckTales.
Price is Right me.
I could have just said 700 million.
Yeah, he could have just said 700 million.
He could have said just 700 million. He said around 700 million. He was right.
What a balloon.
Congratulations, Dustin. Amazing.
Thank you.
Well done. 4 points. You were a perfect score this evening. Unbelievable.
Woo.
Woo.
Wow. That's ridiculous.
And this has been another heart-stopping, award-winning, crowd-pleasing edition of your 12-man Fan Jam Show halftime trivia.
Of the world.
Of the world.
Of the world.
Of the world.
Way back with the third quarter. Right after this. Take us out, DuckTales. Woo.
It's the third quarter, bitches.
Yes, welcome to the second half of episode 911, the Hawkoween Jaguar edition of your 12-man Fan Jam Show. Hey, you! Yeah, you! Hearing things go bumping tonight. Like, share, subscribe to this video. Come on to the 12-man Fan Jam Show Facebook page. We have all kinds of fun stuff going on there. I will be coming into Seattle this weekend with Statsman Mark, and I know we'll see Will, and I know we'll see Dustin.
Yep.
Matt will be
I'm
there.
the Uber guy.
Lots of live videos on the Facebook page. Join our Facebook page. Do it now before you find out the call is coming from within the podcast. All right. Third quarter. It's time to get you ready for that Sunday game that I am going to travel across the country to see. That's, of course, the Seattle Seahawks and Jacksonville Jaguars at 4:05 Eastern Standard Time, 1:05 on the West Coast. And Matt in England.
Well, the clocks go back, so it's 8:05 p.m.
8:05 p.m. A little extra time for you to sleepy, I guess. So before I do, I want to describe my outfit again. Excuse me. I went old school, not old school, but I went the uniforms before these. This is the hat I wore every game in 2005 when the Seahawks made it to the first Super Bowl. This was the hat that I wore every game day. So yeah, that's the one. So nice. That's why. Yeah,
hey, dude, I was looking for because of the Matt Hasselbeck thing. I was looking for a Hasselbeck jersey the other day.
Yeah, that would be pretty.
Doesn't fit.
My kids all had Hasselbeck jerseys.
Story of my life, Dustin.
Yeah, no kidding. But anyway, enough of that. Let's talk about the game of Jaguars. Before we do, we want to get you ready. We're going to see how healthy these teams are. We're turning to our own Dr. Dustin with the 12-man Fan Jam Show injury report. Dr. Dustin, tell us the news.
All right, so we are actually this week. We're going to start with the Jags. Out this week is defensive tackle Jay Tufili. I imagine that's a Me Too movement thing. That's probably why he's not there.
He's too
touching too many
feely.
people.
He's too
He's
feely.
feeling
Yeah,
touchy.
I imagine that's probably what it is.
I think you're
And
being
it's
too
also-
feely.
And it's a hand injury, so I'm pretty sure I'm right.
Touching me, touching you.
Sweet Caroline.
Oh, goodness. And then we got a couple of people questionable. We got cornerback Tyson Campbell. His toe hurts, so he can't play. That poor little guy. And then defensive tackle Davon Hamilton. He's got a shoulder injury. He was limited to practice. He's questionable, so we'll see what happens there. Going back to the Seahawks, so I'm going to talk about the Seahawks' current injuries, and then some people that are coming back, and also give some info on things that happened while I was gone.
All right.
So look into that. So out for sure, safety Marquise Blair. Mm-hmm. He's on the IR. Actually, he fractured his patella, which means he hurt his kneecap.
Pulled it right off. Oh, sorry.
Dude, I don't know if you've ever walked around your coffee table and casually grazed your kneecap on it, but it hurts.
Yeah.
That is.
I've stepped on Legos. Does that count?
It's similar feeling, I think.
Okay.
Dude, when I heard that's what happened to him, I was like, oh my God, he's in so much pain. That sucks. Yeah. That's a painful injury. Also, who's going to be out, which I'm not sure why, but I guarantee you he's out. Defensive lineman LJ Collier. He's going to be continuing his Waldo cosplay this week because
where is he?
We'll still be trying to figure out where he is. So that's going to happen. Questionable for the Seahawks are Damian Lewis, Dwayne Brown, Alex Collins, all questionable. I'm sure all playing. Lewis has a shoulder injury. He's expected to play according to Pete Carroll. Dwayne has an illness, did not participate. That's kind of a curious one, but I'm sure he'll play. Alex Collins has a groin injury. Matt says he's on it, so we're good.
Pulled his groin. Pulled it right off.
Right, because honestly, Dustin, if I count the amount of times I've walked into a locker room where people have got groin strains and they instantly heal and go back out on the field without me having to go anywhere near them, I tell you, I'm
he does the whole Mr. Miyagi, the
healing hands. Just
that's right on it. Yeah.
Oh no, I've lost the entire show.
Go ahead.
And then
you never had it, but Moses.
Yeah, so back in action. This is a new category for this. Back in action.
Back in action.
Yep. Daryl Taylor. I'm glad he's back.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a good one. Yep. That's a good one.
He had a scary ass neck injury. Yeah. At least that's how it looked. Come to find out, nothing happened, nothing wrong. He's a lucky man.
It's like one of them things, you know, when they have a massive car crash and you're like, no one walked away from that, and the bloke gets out and is like, well, that's okay.
Basically, basically.
That's what happened. Yeah. So good for him. I'm happy for him. I'm glad he's going to be out there playing, man, because that was scary.
We are too.
Yeah. And then Brandon Shell's coming back. So we have another offensive lineman coming back.
All right.
His ankle was his injury. Apparently that's gone because he's not listed on the injury report. So we're good there. And now, since I've been gone, maybe this is a Kelly Clarkson section.
Since you've been gone.
Yeah. So first thing, obviously Russell Wilson.
No.
When that injury happened in the first place, what I told my kids was, in my family, he was doing this. I was like, oh, he's got a trigger finger injury. I bet you that's a mallet finger. I'm like, what does that mean? I was like, that means surgery. They're like, oh no.
Take my strong hand, child. Take my strong hand.
I'm crushing your heads.
Yep. And sure enough, yeah, because I noticed he couldn't extend it, which is a bad thing. The tendon up there is ruptured. Now, if the tendon's ruptured or whatever, and you are broken, the tendon has issues, and there's no fracture, you don't have to have surgery. But the tendon was ruptured, and he had a fracture, which means you have to have surgery. They put a pin in there. Obviously, everybody knows about that now. As far as Pete Carroll earlier today, he said it's still not out, but Russell Wilson is ahead of time. Ahead of schedule to return. I imagine Green Bay circled on his calendar, so we'll look at that.
Nice.
Yep. The other one, not good news. really, really not good news. Kind of sucks. Carson. He's had this apparently ongoing neck injury that got flared up or whatever. And the quote from Pete Carroll today was that I'm really keeping my fingers crossed for him that he gets a chance to come back and play. I noticed he didn't say this season.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, it's pretty ominous. Chris Carson might be in a position where his career is going to be over.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Might be a life question more than a career question at this point.
Yeah, exactly.
Might be.
That's where we're going with that. Yeah,
sad with that. Yeah.
But yeah, that's
all right.
That's everybody on our Seahawks injury report and the Jags.
All right. Thank you, Dustin.
Moses.
Thank you, Dustin, for that wonderful 12-man Fan Jam Show injury report, as always. Now let's take a look at how the weather's going to be for this game by turning to a man living in England. I refer to, of course, the 12-man Fan Jam Show weather and fashion report with Matt from Merry Old England. Oh, Matt.
Yes, thank you, Moses. Well, the Jacksonville Jaguars are coming to town, or as you say in the colonies incorrectly, Jaguars. Honestly, there's no W in that bloody word. You're a whole language and you screw it up in less than 300 years.
Always.
So, weather for this game. Well, I'm very lucky, Moses, as I happen to have, for the first time ever, the very best people to do with climate and weather in the UK this week for the opening of the COP26 thing in Glasgow, Scotland. So I fired off a couple of emails to the world's top climatologists to get a forecast for Sunday's game, but sadly, none of them responded. I cannot understand why. So instead, I asked the little gloom goblin herself, Miss Greta Thunberg, because she's always got something to say about some things, and people really seem to respect her opinions, which I think is quite impressive considering she spent less time in a school classroom than you. And we all know you're on a break, so we get it.
Not anymore, but yeah.
Are you back now, are you?
We're back, yeah.
When's your next break?
Thanksgiving, a couple weeks.
About
3
4 or 5 days from now.
weeks.
Yeah, 4 or 5 days.
Well, actually, I'm taking Monday off for the trip, but you know. But we digress.
She wrote, so true. So we wrote back. She wrote back to me in the form of a protest sign, which simply said, "It's going to be hot, you planet-wrecking bastard. So you better stop eating meat, stop flying long haul to go to the States, and don't have any children." Thanks, Greta. I think I've got the last one covered, but I'm not sure about the other two. Temperatures this weekend in Seattle will reach a positively sweltering 55 degrees Biden.
Oh my goodness.
With clear, globally warmed skies.
Beautiful.
And very little wind, making it a perfect passing game weather.
Yeah.
So we're going to run it.
So watch us spend the entire game ignoring our receivers and failing to establish any run at all. So what to wear for this game? Well, it's Halloween, which really means you can wear anything you like, to be honest, providing it's scary, spooky, or just downright disgusting. So expect the stadium to be filled with ghouls, ugly old hags, and zombies, and that's just going to be the visiting team fans. Of course, we will have our own Shadowhawk Will in the stands, who will be getting into the horror and the fright at the same time by wearing his old action green Hushmanzada jersey again. Utterly terrifying.
Championship.
So watch for that one in the stands. If you see the cameras pan over, you won't be able to miss him. He'll be right there. But whatever you wear, just remember to throw a Hawks jersey over all of that, and you are good to go. With all that being said, it looks like it's going to be perfect Seahawks weather, Moses. So back over to you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Matt, very much.
And now, please be upstanding and welcome our own Reverend Moses from the St. Paul Allen Church of Seahawk Positivity for his sermon for this upcoming game. Oh, Reverend.
Yes, it is I, the Self-Appointed Reverend Moses, St. Paul Church, Seahawk Positivity. How are you all this evening?
Good, thank you, Reverend. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm a little shaky, but I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be okay. It's been kind of a rough season for us all, has it not? It's been kind of a rough start. Things have taken a turn downwards in the land of Seahawk Positivity, and so since it is the season for evil spooks and spirits, no, not another Trump rally. I mean Hawkoween. I believe it is time to exercise some bad juju from this team of ours, if we may. So
and two and one and exorcise.
Not that kind of exorcism there. Well, now before I start, I do want to warn everyone watching this podcast that this may traumatize you beyond your repair. I'm little Jimmy Lewis. Little Jimmy Lewis, he snuck in one of these once, and he had to spend the next 6 months with a look on his face like he just saw Kathy Bates naked, and it was not a good look. We had to bring him Kit Kats and Playboys to unburn that image out of his head. It was disgusting, but
that hurt everybody.
So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to get some darkness going here, and we have lit our candle of Seahawk positivity in an attempt to save our Seahawks, and the candle is fully lit. So I'm going to ask you all to kind of concentrate, if you may. And I'm going to take my shades off because this is serious business. So we lit the candle, and now we will need the posse to concentrate with me. Really concentrate. Now concentrate, gentlemen. Clear your minds of everything. All things but Seahawk positivity. Dustin, that's going to be impossible for you, but try. And Will, no Star Wars.
Stay puff marshmallow, man.
Will, no Star Wars, especially Princess Leia in that slave outfit. I know who you're looking at, but not tonight, my friend. And Maddie, well, I don't even want to know what the hell's going on in your mind. Just try to concentrate, my friend. Now concentrate, everybody. And we're going to concentrate, and I want everyone to breathe as I prepare to feel the bad juju and the evil spirits in this team. I feel it in the name of Seahawk positivity. I can feel it coming from the candle. I feel some names, and they're holding this team down. That's evil spirits holding this team down. Their names floating by me. I can see them. Aaron Curry's name's floating by. Aaron Curry. His spirit is strong in this team. We need to remove that. Malik McDowell, I feel Malik McDowell's name floating through here. We got to remove that. I feel Rick Meyer. I feel Rick Meyer's presence. Rick Meyer, you must be gone. We must remove that evil spirit from this team. Dan McGuire, you're a tall son of a gun, but you got to move down, son. You got to get away from this team. Dan McGuire cannot be on this team. We got to move it. And those are just from the heart and the drafting of this team. But then there were free agents that are holding this team down and keeping it from being where it needs to be. There's Stan Gelbaugh. Stan Gelbaugh, you've got to leave. You've got to leave this team. The spirit of Stan Gelbaugh, be gone. Kelly Stouffer must leave this team. Nate Odoms, Antoine Winfield, you must go. You must leave this team in the name of Seahawk positivity. The power of Seahawk positivity compels you. The power of Seahawk positivity compels you. The power of Seahawk positivity compels you. This team is clear.
Reverend?
Hello?
Reverend.
Oh, guys, you know what this means. I'm in charge.
Wow.
Shit.
So let's go ahead and end the third quarter. Coming up in the fourth quarter, we have our predictions, prognostications, and game balls. So don't miss it.
You are watching the 12-Man Fan Jam Show, a Seahawk Positivity production. Holy shit, it's the fourth quarter.
Okay, it's your fourth and final quarter of the 9/11 Hawkoween edition of your 12-Man Fan Jam Show against the Jaguars. The Jaguars and Seahawks play Sunday at 4:05 p.m. Eastern Time, 1:05 Seattle Time, 8:05 in England. Explanation of my final Halloween outfit, so to speak. This hat, when I went to Indiana State, went with me to just about every class. When I could wear it, I did. I wore it for the whole time I was at Indiana State. So kind of a lucky hat for me during that time. Helped me graduate. So it's kind of got, you've seen my Hall of Fame hats this evening. Matt is here. And of course, Matt's still dressed as Pudding Hawk. Dustin didn't come in his costume. And then there's Will dressed as, but he came back up. No, Dustin's wearing a lovely mask. Yes. And a Richard Sherman jersey. And Will's being DK Metcalf. The resemblance is stunning. So as we move on to our predictions for this game, the Seahawks are 3.5-point favorites. The over-under is at 44.5. And we will now look at our predictions, prognostications, and game balls for this game. First, for Team 12, Little Mo said Seahawks win 28-17. Metcalf gets touchdown. Metcalf gets my game ball. Jose, who was in the game last week. Seahawks 23, Jaguars 20. Prognostication, Trey Brown gets a pick. Game ball to DK. Mike Pascal says the Moses Mojo will be in force against the Cats and in favor of the Hawks because this show is for the birds. Seahawks win over the Mick Jaggers 19-17. Game ball to Collins. Prediction, Gino meets the grass at least twice. So 2 sacks against Gino. He said, sorry, I need some points. Hope I have an awesome, safe and super trip and enjoy the game, my friend. I will. Mark Ty Turner said, I won't say, no, I will say Sunday's a must win. Lose and it's a free fall to the basement. Win and it merely keeps us above water. Hawks 24, Jags 17, game ball to Lockett. He predicts DK will get a personal foul flag. That's an interesting one. I like that. I mean, I don't like that, but it's interesting. Carrie, I was having new tires put on my truck this week, and I overheard a very young man in the weighing area watching ESPN tell his friends that his team sucks this year, and he said, my Hawks suck. I marched in there and looked him dead in the eye and said, you don't know suck. I've lived through the forest years.
Oh, no.
I saw a 2-win season.
Oh, no.
This will not be a 2-win season because this weekend we get pretty kitty coats when we skin the Jaguars 24-17.
Oh.
This is the weekend
so vulgar. Oh.
This weekend our defense gets the pick off Trevor Lawrence and our Hawks turn that into 6 points. So pick 6. This weekend my game ball goes to Bobby Wagner again. He will continue to punish offenses of Trevor Lawrence. Better put some respect on his name because Wagner's going to make his drive big old tricks and no treats. I told this kid he doesn't know suck.
Some cats.
Good Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. He'll never know what it truly means to suck. That's what she said.
Oh, my goodness.
He does wish us all a very happy Hawkoween and a restful bye week. All right. I know. Jimmy, this team's a mess. No sugar code needed, but we will finally get a win with double clutch Gino. Nice. Hawks win 26-17. Game ball to DK. Touchdown for Collins' prognostication. Team Posse, Andy. Hawks win big 35-10. Collins runs for 100 yards against my game ball. And he said something disgusting about me in a downtown hotel. I'm not going to share. Chris.
But it's true. Prognostication, he gets points.
Probably. Chris, after a few weeks away, injured, hopefully this will be the last game of the season without Russell Wilson. Hopefully this will be that Gino will go out on a high note and the fans will cheer him from the rafters of Lumen Field. And if he does, I can see a close game, but the Hawks come out atop at home. Trevor Lawrence gets his first taste of the 12s. The Hawks win by a score of 24-17. Game ball goes to Bobby Wagner. Prognostication is that Gino will throw at least 2 TDs. This is the way. Dustin. Hi, Dustin. Welcome back. Good to have you back, by the way. We've been out for a couple weeks, and I'm glad you're back. We're glad you're back.
I'm glad I'm back too, man. It's been rough. I love this show. I love doing this, and I needed this, so it's good to be back.
We love to have you on. So, what you got for us, sir?
All right. So basically, I'm tired. So I haven't seen too many of the games because I've been busy, obviously.
Yeah.
I've seen the scores, and I can tell you, I'm tired of the bullshit. I need something to celebrate, so right. I'm going 42-24 Seahawks. That's what I'm going.
Woo. Nice.
Yeah. I'm gonna say, I know I put Alex Collins in there for a game ball a couple times. He hasn't really lived up to the hype. He's got that groin injury, but I'm sticking with it, damn it.
There you go.
Alex Collins getting a game ball, and that's because he's going to rush for over 100 yards. That's my prognostication is Alex gets 100 yards, dude. I'm ready for this positivity to come back around and good things happen for the Seahawks and just good things in general. So
I agree.
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
Nice.
I think we're all there. I agree with it. Hi, Will.
Hi, Moses. How are you?
Good. I can't get over how much you look like DK Metcalf. I never put that together until tonight.
I thought he was here, and then I checked my OnlyFans, and I realized that's not DK.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. Sure. Your OnlyFans has just DK on it.
No, it has Russell too. So.
Right.
All right. Will, what's
this is like you guys moving on.
Moving on. Well, what you got for us?
Okay, prediction, Seahawks 20, Jaguars 16. My prognostication is that one of our tight ends will actually get a touchdown in this game. I figured math like that.
That worked.
For game ball, you know what? We never give the offensive line any love in these. I'm going to go Gabe Jackson for my game ball.
Interesting. All right.
Yeah, that's hard to prove.
That's hard to prove, but we'll go with it.
It's subjective for Moses, so I trust his judgment.
All right, fair enough. Matt, hello.
Hello.
I'm sorry you're not going to be in Seattle this weekend, my friend.
Me too. No, me too. It's not going to happen, unfortunately, for me.
No, that's all right.
Fucking lazy, dude. You could have come over.
What are your thoughts on this game?
All I had to do was jump on a plane.
Just jump on a plane. So the score is going to be Seahawks 17, Jaguars 10.
All right.
I'm going to give my game ball to Wagner. My prognostication: 2 interceptions for the Seahawks.
Ooh, 2.
We get 2 interceptions. We don't throw 2 interceptions.
Yes. Yes.
This is in our favor. I'm not saying we're going to do, can I just say I'm not saying we're going to do anything off the back of getting both of the interceptions, by the way. Apart from change field position. Apart from changing field position. Yeah, 2.
You don't have to go that far. All right. Well, I guess it's my turn. The Seahawks enter Halloween suffering from their own horror film called The Team That Lost Their Hall of Fame Quarterback. This scary season has been the Seahawks lose 3 in a row for the first time since many 12s were probably 12s, I would imagine, but I digress. Not this guy. I remember 2-14. I remember being the best 8-8 team in the league under Erickson. I remember also just bring it. Like a welcome, refreshing drink after wandering the desert of defeat, the NFL gods put the Jacksonville Jaguars on our schedule, and it could not show up at a better time. The Jaguars are led by quarterback Trevor Lawrence, who resembles the best lesbian volleyball player in college. Let's face it. That girl that looks like him, I just feel for her.
I feel like we're about to get canceled, sir.
Trevor Lawrence. Here's the funny part.
We're gonna need your help, Matt. We're gonna need your help.
The funny part is this: Trevor Lawrence is not accustomed to losing, so he's not used to losing. So he's playing for the Jaguars. That's like Elton John playing a QAnon rally. Come on. The Jaguars seem to be well. They've been the Jaguars this season. Their only victory coming last week off the terrible Dolphins, who hope Deshaun Watson can beat the rap. Meanwhile, Seahawk fans, this Sunday, the horror script of the 2021 season may flip because the Jaguars are coming to town. Maybe it's because it's before a bye week. Or maybe, just maybe, it's because your self-appointed Reverend Moses of Seahawk Positivity will be in the house Sunday. That's right, Jacksonville. Your fans have flamed me for years, and that flame is still smoldering in my heart, baby. And I'm personally coming up to watch the Seahawks tear your souls apart. Watching delight, not horror. As my game ball, Jamal Adams, does what we all thought he can't do. Catch a football. Adams gets an interception.
Nice.
He's my game ball. He's my prognostication.
Bold take.
Oh, Jacksonville, your nightmares are just beginning, baby. As the Seahawks win by a score of Seattle Seahawks 24, Jacksonville Jaguars 13. Book it. There you go.
It is so booked.
It is so booked. Wow. What a scary, crazy, fun, exciting Hawkoween special 12-man fan jam show. We had. Ooh, I got choked up. We hope that you all have had a great time with our costumes.
it's time to bring a wonderful show to amazing close. We hope that you laughed a little, maybe learned a little something. I don't know, maybe you didn't. Maybe you enjoyed our outfits for this episode, Hawkoween episode. On behalf of everyone here, my partner in crime, Matt. That's Matt from Old England, I think, isn't it? Dustin as the Beaver, Will, Mike Pascal, Roger Goodell, Mosette, Little Mo, Jimmy, Chris, Jose, Carrie, Mark, Ty Turner, Andy Northernhawk, Kona, April, Abby, Mark Brunel, Fred Taylor, Boris Karloff, Count Dracula. This is your self-appointed Reverend Moses of the St. Paul Allen Church of Seahawk Positivity, saying until next time, go Hawks!
Hey, go Hawks!
Go Hawks!
I'm telling you.
Yeah, I just want to say that I appreciate everybody this last month. It's been really hard for me. I don't know that I could have gone through without the support I've been shown from like the people here, people at work, and just I'm happy that I made friends that I can count on, and appreciate all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dustin.
Big group hug.
Big group hug.
Group hug.
Yep.